All right, let's talk about the steps when I'm looking at this problem. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the terms on the bottom, and they don't seem to be all written in the same order. So my first goal here would be to write it in the same order. And I like the descending powers. So like I want to start with the highest power of n and move down. So the first guy's fine. The second guy I factor out a minus 1 from this, so it would become 2n minus 1. Now this guy's fine. All right, I see that. And from this guy, I'm going to factor out a minus 1, so this becomes plus, and then I get this thing over here. So all I did was I wrote them in the same order. All right, let me get my eraser out, and then we talk about the next thing I want to do in the problem. And again, your mileage may vary by doing something else. You might be quicker at it, slower at it, whatever, but the end is always going to be the same, hopefully. What I want to do is I want to rearrange the terms, because I notice that some of the terms have a lot in common. For example, this term here has a lot in common with this term over here. So all I did was I rearranged it, right? And I also rearranged the other two to put those two together because they have something in common. And I put them over here. Just a subtle rearrangement. Now what I want to do is talk about each of them separately. I'll do the blue one later, but now I want to concentrate on the red one. And what do I notice about that? It's got a common denominator of 8n cubed plus 1. That's not a problem. The problem is the numerator. What's the numerator going to be? 3 times 4n squared plus, whoops, not plus, I made a mistake there, minus 2n plus 1 minus 5n squared. Now that might take you time to do that, but take your time. You factor, build, things like that. We're getting better at this. This is a 36 problem. So what do you get over there? You get 12n squared minus 5, which is 7n squared, minus 6n plus 3. Am I seeing that? Yes, I am. It's right over here. All right, got to do this one now. All right, this one's done. What do you get there? Let's take a look at it. Well, you're going to get plus 5n squared minus 3 times something. Let's be careful here. What's it going to be? 4n squared plus 2n plus 1. Let's multiply this out. You get minus 12 plus 5 is minus 7. N squared minus 6n minus 3. Well, you know what? I factored a minus 1 out there. And what do you get? 7n squared plus 6n plus 3. So let me get my eraser out, and I think we're pretty comfortable to the line we just arrived at. All right? Let me outline this. We're comfortable with this over here. All right, now here comes the trouble. The trouble is getting the LCD down. And the LCD is a product of those two, all right? Just a product, all right? Let me write that down for you. So the product of those two, 8n cubed minus 1 times 8n cubed plus 1, they're relatively simple to do, by the way. They're conjugates. You can get 64 n6 minus 1. You know what? There's an error here. This should be a 6. This will be corrected. You will not see this in your sheet. This needs to be corrected. So error. The 3 should be a 6. Now I got to do the numerator, and that's going to be a lot more difficult to do. So let me erase this over here. I caught an error. I'll correct that. You're not going to see that again. And I'm going to say it's the 7n squared minus 6n plus 3 times, I'm building, right? This, and then this times the other guy. Yeah, looks pretty good. I got to do it, though. And it's problematic. I know that. So I got to do the multiplication. And, 8 times 7, 56. It's a lot of work. I know that. 56 and 5, right? And then minus 7. You know what? Let's just do the 8n cubed across all three terms. Minus 48. And that's going to be n4, right? And then it's going to be 24 n cubed. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm going to circle it for you. I'm just doing this business over here. Then what do you get? Well, let's write that down. You're going to get minus 7n squared. Then you can get plus 6n. And then you're going to get minus 3. All right? So we got this, and we want to subtract away the other guy. Well, let's do that. What do you get over there? 56 and 5. And then you're going to get 48 and 4. I'm just multiplying. And then you can get 24 and cubed. Let's keep moving. Then you can get 7n squared plus 6n. And then what are you going to get? Let's be very careful about that. You're going to get plus 3. Well, I got to subtract. And let me get my red pen out. And these disappear. That's good news, by the way. All right? Does anything else disappear? These disappear. That's good news. This disappears. That's good news. So I'm left with some addition. All right? So you get minus 96 and 4. I'm just doing the top, by the way. These two over here. You're going to get, let's see, minus 14 n squared. I see that. And then you're going to get minus 6. All right? I'm going to factor a minus 1 out from that. And if you do that, you would get minus 96 and 4 plus 14 n squared plus 6. Right, now I want to remind you we're dividing that by something. So I'm pretty comfortable the top's okay now. I'm going to start to erase my old work. And again, I need to move forward. And moving forward means I need to divide that by something, all right? Not by the error, but by the correct term. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let me go back. I'm not sure what happened there, but this is going to be a square. I did it again. Sorry about that. I'm going to get my eraser out again and try again. I'm going to divide by the correct one, right? Which is going to be 64 and 6 minus 1. Well, let's take a look at that. I think I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by minus 1. So you get 96 n 4 plus 14n squared plus 6 over 1 minus 64 and 6. Let's see if we got the answer. Get my red pen out. Got the correct bottom. And the top, did I get the top right? 96n 4, 14n squared. Yeah, things are fine. Thank you so much for listening.